Hi. So I quickly want to start with a story. Back in 2019, I was having great growth, and I decided to throw a 10,000 subscriber party. Like the algorithm was being super kind to us, and I'm like, hey, let's throw a party, let's invite everyone. So I was on track of doing that, but on the day of the party, the algorithm stopped being kind to me. And I'm like, in a few hours, I have to throw a party for 10,000 subscribers. And I don't think I'll be able to cross 10,000 subscribers by the night. So I decided to do something. I went on road and I started approaching strangers and asking them, will you subscribe to my YouTube channel? And it kind of worked because I approached 250 people and 200 of them subscribed to my channel. And I was closing one subscriber every minute. And from 9,800, I went to 10,000. And I could then go to my own party and dance. This is the cake we had cut like when we crossed 10,000 subscribers. But I kind of felt very embarrassed about the whole thing. Am I allowed to do it, like going offline and asking people to subscribe to my channel? And I just messaged my brother, hey, I did this. Are you going to disown me? Is this very embarrassing? And my brother sent me a smiling emoji and he said, I want you to read this article. And that article titled, Do Things That Do Not Scale. It's a beautiful concept. This is written by Paul Graham, where Paul Graham says, the most common unscalable thing founders have to do at the start is to recruit users manually. You can't wait for users to come to you. You have to go out and get them. I felt very happy after reading this, and by the time I finished reading it, I was ready to go on road again and ask people to subscribe to my channel. And that is pretty much my life has been like. Every time the algorithm is not kind to me, I have created my own inflection point. Now, a little about what we do, like, we run Challa Talks, a recommendation channel. So I have had a lot of people on my channel to recommend their favorite movies, favorite books. Basically, I have a theory. When you ask someone about a particular movie that they like or a particular dish they like, you can see a shift in their eye and you'll see them speak poetry. I have had so many people speak poetry on my channel. We ourselves also give our recommendations. This is me. I used to give recommendations like this for 3 years, where I would sit on this desk and like every week I would come and recommend 3 films. These are my co-founders. They're also sitting here, Vani and Saurabh. And this is an episode we did with Mr. Anurag Kashyap, where we had called him to give his recommendations. It's been a beautiful journey, and I like to believe we have done good work. But I want to talk about a myth around good work. You know, they say, I've always heard, do good work and they'll come and find you. Spoiler alert, no one came to save me. And it's been sad, it's been depressing. But they always say, just do good work, they'll come for you, they'll come for you. No one came. I had always had to build my own inflection points. I had to blow my own trumpet, and I had to be my own salesman. And I had to show up for myself every time. No matter what happened, I showed up. You know, I think I'm average and above average in pretty much everything I do, but I'm kind of nice when it comes to showing up. I have shown up so many times on the bad days when there was no growth, there was zero growth, and I just showed up. Let's do this, let's do this. When I just shifted to Mumbai, I would only open newspapers for one reason. I would want to check the free events happening in the city so that I can go there and show up without any agendas, without wanting to click selfies with celebrities, or without wanting them to read my scripts. I would just show up. And it did good things, you know, like you'll be surprised to know how many times it worked. I would go to the airport 4 hours earlier so that I can find someone from the industry and just talk to them and maybe tell them about what I do and maybe close them for a guest episode. There's another thing I'm above average at, and that is following up. So a lot of times people ask me, how did you get Anurag Kashyap on your channel? How did you get Nasruddin Shah on your channel? It's just because I've always been too desperate to fail. I always keep at it. We just keep following up, keep following up. I'm kind of unemotional about following up. I'll tell you a story. Like, in 2019, I watched a show called Better Call Saul, and it immediately became the best thing I've ever watched in my whole life. And I'm like, my 100th episode is approaching, so let me just approach the creator of Better Call Saul. It's a show which is the prequel of Breaking Bad. A lot of you might know about Breaking Bad. So I just sent a tweet to the creator of the show. Hey, I do this. Would you like to come for like the 100th episode on my channel? So it's a long thread. I am showing you 4 of those tweets. Yeah, the problem with doing this was I was doing it publicly, so a lot of people were also making fun of me. Ki, oh, you are going to think Peter Gould will reply to you when you approach him like this? Interesting, good for you. And but I did this, and someone commented this. You know, they are at a certain level, you should not have expected them to reply. They kind of get these tweets on a daily basis. You can never invite them, dude, that was false hope. And maybe this guy was true, because for the first week, nothing happened. I kept following up, nothing happened. Second week, nothing happened. Third week, nothing happened. After third week, my team did an intervention with me, and they're like, we need to run the channel, okay? Like, we can't always just wait for him to appear for the 100th episode. And it has put things to halt. Let's keep moving. I was sad. I'm like, okay, I hear you. So when I'll wake up tomorrow, I will make something for the 100th episode. I just had to move on. But the next day when I woke up, something interesting had happened. I had received a DM on Twitter. It was by Mr. Peter Gould. And he had said, are you still interested in having me on your channel? If yes, this is my email. This is my assistant's email. And I was like, what? It was one of those most surreal moments of my life. And that led to this. I did an episode with him on Challa Talks for the 100th episode. And it was very, very beautiful. And that day I realized a lot of us overestimate risk and underestimate reward. So it was risky, like trying to embarrass yourself publicly by like approaching someone. But the payoff was amazing. The reward was amazing. So this is what had happened. So, you know, I kept following up. I kept showing up. Then something very interesting happened. With a mixture of following up and showing up, I experienced compounding. You know, ours has been a very slowly growing YouTube channel. Like, our first few videos only got 1,000 views, 2,000 views. And we always were like, yeah, the growth is slow, the growth is slow. But one day, YouTube sends me a notification. Congratulations, you have crossed 1 lakh channel views. And I'm like, okay. Few months later, YouTube sends me a notification. Congratulations, you have crossed 1 million channel views. I'm like, how? 17 people were watching my live stream yesterday. Where are these people coming from? A year later, YouTube sent us a notification. You're not going to believe this, but you have crossed 10 million channel views. And I'm like, no wonder they call compounding the 8th wonder of the world. It's very difficult for humans to grasp how compounding works once it starts working. And that is what happened with us. And all those times when I was creating content for those 17 people, when I was going on Marine Drive asking people to subscribe to my YouTube channel, when I was really caring about people, something interesting was happening, and I didn't know it at that point. I was accidentally building a community. And today, I take pride in having one of the most strongest communities in India. Like, we have meetups all over the world. In fact, like when people got to know I'm in Delhi, we are having a meetup today in the evening where a lot of people are coming in. A lot of people all over the world think Challa Talks as their home. And I always wonder why that happens. Why do they connect with us so much? And then I understood it happens because of authenticity. It happens because of authenticity, because we have always tried to, like, you might see that I am doing this talk in a very imperfect way, right? Like, I've already made 7 mistakes. But this is how I talk on screen also. And I think people have been kind of forgiving that ways. and they relate to this. They're like, hey, this is interesting. And I live by the words of this famous filmmaker, Elia Kazan. Says, the goal is not to survive, anyone can do it. The goal is to survive as yourself, undiminished. And that is how I have protected the authenticity, and in turn, the authenticity became my currency. I also want to tell you something more about my authenticity. Show of hands, how many people are Imtiaz Ali fans here? Okay, quite a lot of you. You guys might know of the Imtiaz Ali philosophy that टूटे हुए दिल से ही संगीत निकलता है. Right? It means you need to have your heart broken to create art. Great, right? But I don't believe in it at all. I fully disagree with it. Because I don't think you need to be sad to be able to create art. I think you can be happy and still do it. One of my favorite writers of all time is Ray Bradbury. And Ray Bradbury, when he was 80 years old, he gave this speech where he said, I had so much fun writing throughout my life that I want you to envy me, my joy. And that is what I am trying to do. I want to enjoy this. I want to have fun while doing this. I don't want to create artificial sadness just so that I can create something. And it has been nice that way. It has helped me to create a lot of things. I was also showing you guys this, like, when I was talking about the community. Like, somehow I feel if I meet any subscriber over a cup of coffee, we'll just end up clicking. There is a shared passion. And I just am very proud of this community. This is one of the meetups we had of Challa Talks. In the front row, there's Vani, who is my co-founder, and all these people had come for one of our meetups. Now, when all these things are combined, when you follow up, when you show up, when compounding is happening, when community is there, we kind of achieved moderate success. Now, it's interesting because I want to talk about a side of success I haven't seen people talk a lot about, and that is, when things start working out, you don't take breaks. You don't allow yourself to sit back and say, hey, this is nice. I would really urge people to do that because, there's this concept by Ellen de Botton where he says, there's an importance in staring outside of the window. So, if you do achieve success in any capacity, just make sure that you kind of have those moments where you stare outside of the window. And you are not staring outside of the window because there's something interesting happening outside. You are doing it to enjoy the quiet, to go deeper into your own subconscious, to befriend your subconscious. Because when you befriend your subconscious, when your subconscious knows, hey, he's paying attention to me, your subconscious gives you the best ideas. So, yeah, success needs to be experienced with pauses. Now let's also talk about failure. There is a very good chance when you go out to create something, nobody is going to care. And it's the sad reality. But let's say if you get only 17 views on anything you create. Let's say everyone is indifferent towards what you're doing. There's a lot of power in the indifference. And you need to have thick enough skin so that you can handle the indifference, use it as a power, and create more art. Because, when people are being indifferent towards you, when you are kind of a failure, you are able to experiment in a way that successful people can't. And that would allow you to really, really create a lot of content. Indifference is a gift. This is, by the way, guys, my whole team. And this is the core team. And 4 of those people are sitting here today. So, this is right after we had crossed 1 lakh subscribers. But now I'm facing another problem in life. I have kind of achieved moderate success and I have seen a lot of failure in my life. But now I'm at a crossroad. Now I'm at this stage where I am facing another problem. And because I have a 2 lakh subscriber party to throw in a few weeks, and the algorithm has again stopped being kind to us. So, if you see me outside asking people to subscribe to my channel, don't be surprised. One last thing, every time I have ever come on stage, on screen, I always give recommendations. So yeah, some of these recommendations. The blog I mentioned, you need to read it. You need to read the book, The School of Life. You need to watch a film called Moneyball. You need to watch all films of David Fincher. He's one of the most technically sound filmmakers. There's a lecture series on Y Combinator called How to Start a Startup. It has been a game changer for me. And you need to create your own inflection points. Thank you.